I'll be super excited because I usually am. Now I'm just going to take that little overlay off. Oh, look, my little name's there in the corner. Getting used to my software, hoping just I'll do a little check, make sure everything's working. Say hello so that I know that I'm chatting with you. Oh, there I am. Great. I can just do this as well. Right. Well, there's a lot going on in the world and I need to do some art and keep myself in happiness. Hey Carol, hey Martine, hey Ellen. Nice to see you here. Right. And if you're watching from YouTube, hey Sandra, let me know as well. Right, because I can see the chats. This is going out to Facebook and YouTube, my YouTube channel at the same time as a live. And let me know also if you're part of the Facebook group, would you like me to do it as I can also stream to that as well. And then you can choose where you want to watch things, you see. Right, so I've got new things to show you. And now you might have seen me, I accidentally used this the other day when I was filming. I was just watching it back and I noticed that I'd used the brush that I was trying to keep a little bit secret. Although I had popped it on purposely once before, mainly to see if Debbie noticed. She did. Hey Carol, hey Babs, hey Diane. Oh, Martine's power's gone out. I hope that's not because you're in a storm or something. Now, little popcorn, my dear little popsy doodle, I might have to move you a little bit in a minute, but maybe I'll show everyone what's happening first, and then we'll do that, okay? So, very excitingly, the colour library, which is this gorgeous thing, or set of things. This is the colour library. They are our watercolour tubes. Oh, could you help me display? Thank you, Poppy. This is the cute boxes. It's got all the pigment information and light fastness and all of that. They're all very, very high quality, pigment, etc. Hey, where are you lot off to? Hey, come back. They're off on tour already. And this is the tubes that are inside. There's 24 colours. And these are 12 mil of watercolour, which is generous. Like, you're going to be able to fill lots and lots of single pans. You'll be using those forever and a day. But if you are, like me, a heavy user of some particular colours, you'll be very happy of this news. This is the new 22 mil, so it's almost double what is in that smaller tube. In the Pride and Prejudice, which is an opera rose. Little Women, which is a quinacridone magenta, slightly redder, slightly warmer. The 20,000 Legs, this is a cobalt turquoise, and Gulliver's Travels is an aqua. So these are single pigments. Opera Rose is never a single pigment. It almost is. It's got two in it, but it's always considered a master quality. And this is Painted Veil and Gulliver's Travels. Painted Veil, this is the most beautiful beige for a flesh tone. It's very hard to get this. Believe me, I know, because I collect these sorts of colours. Usually they're too yellow or they're too orange. This is a really great neutral beige as just a mid-tone for when you're creating portraits. So it can be highlights on a darker skin. Even if you wanted to paint with a darker person, for instance, you can almost still start here and just make this darker as you go, because you're going to need a mid-tone there as well. Or you can water it down to make it even lighter for portraits and so forth. And this is Gulliver's, and of course you don't just use this colour for skin. I mean, my dog is this colour, so my beautiful popcorn. Like a buttered popcorn, aren't you, Pop? And this is Gulliver's Travels, which is this beautiful aqua colour. Oh, deliciousness. So this is more on the turquoise side. And actually, because I've got the little swatches here, that's Gulliver's Travels there. There's 20,000 Leagues, so the aqua, the turquoise. We've got Pride and Prejudice, which is this neon pink. It's an opera rose. And Little Women is right next door. So this is this quinacridone magenta. You can see that it's more of a magenta. The other pinks that are in the set are Wuthering Heights and Pygmalion. This is a coral, and Wuthering Heights like a quinacridone coral. And Wuthering Heights is going more towards those warmer pinks as well. So you've got the full range of everything. But these are our 4 larger sizes, and if you decided you had to have these, this is a little free gift that we've got. It's like a collectible, but you can use this. You could use this on your toothpaste. It's a paint key, but any tube, hand cream or whatever, quite handy to help squish things up, and that's a free gift. When you get this set. You can also get them individually, but that's our free gift. So I've just put them on the website, and I might use these colours today. But the main event, I guess, is the new brush set, which is gorgeous, beyond gorgeous and beyond. So these are like the Brush Ballet On Point, this sort of bristle, but it is a different bristle, slightly different, which in the world of brushes, slightly different means monumental different. And then it comes in this beautiful leatherette pouch, because the brushes do this. Just when you're putting them together, I just give it a little wiggle, just so I'm not pushing the bristles down, and it goes into this lovely compact form. It's got the size of the brush on here with the logo and the Brush Ballet on tour, because when a ballet ensemble goes off expanding their horizons, they're on tour. So this is the on tour set. I must say I'm never going to just be saving these for travel, because this is a metal handle. It's not heavy. It's my brother. No, it's not heavy. But it just has this weight, like see, heft makes it sound like it's heavy, that it might tire your hand. No, it just has a balance. It's like when someone picks up a samurai sword, a katana, and they can feel the balance, like it's got a weight, a balance to it. So all of those compact down. Which was the one that was neat? This one, like so. Don't like the sound of the Velcro, do you, Pops? Inside the little leatherette pouch, it's actually got elasticated holders as well, so that you can everything just stays nicely. It's better if you put the larger ones in the middle and then let the smaller ones go off to the side, rather than going from big to little. Things all just fit in there very nicely, but you don't have to keep them all together. The smallest ones, for absolute sure, fit into most watercolor tins. I'll try the next size. I think that these are going to start getting too big to actually put in the tin itself. I tend not to travel with my brushes in the tin as well. No, it's just a little bit too big, but next tin up you'll be able to pop that one in. But yes, I just wanted to put that there because I know an awful lot of you have those. And yeah, so just gorgeous. Now I'm just going to put mine back together. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'm into like nicely balanced things. Like the Sketcher size pencil's got the same thing, because it's got that metal in it, so it just feels like you're holding something tangible. And these are just so delicious that they've been making me want to paint more. Sometimes I think of them and I come and paint so I can swizzle them around, because they're just that girl. They're just so lovely to come and say hello to. So I keep this set in this is the Brush Bay I live in Byron Bay. This is the Brush Bay. It actually whirls around. Watch out, Poppy. You're going to be very impressed with this. Oh, we'll come up a little bit like that. What do you think about this? Look, he's not that impressed. He's like, woman, I'm a puppy. So the reason that it spins is that it just allows you extra access everywhere. So the way I've got things set up is I've got my on point set here, which is my set of rounds. I've got my pirouette set, which is got filberts, mops and brights in it, just different shaped brushes and angles. And my arabesque set has the yellow taklon, the golden taklon rather. Ooh, she needs a wash. She got put away, not properly cleaned. But that's the thing with acrylic brushes. This is why they need a tougher bristle, because acrylic's just not as easy to wash out as, hello darling, as watercolour and so forth. Also, if you left full watercolour in your brush, it's just going to wash out the next time you wash it, whereas acrylic's going to set, right? So I've got those three sets at the back. I've got my skinny minis here. In the middle, I've got a little collection of the Malicious brushes. Sorry, Poppy. My dip pen from Japan. I've also got my Epic pen in there and my glass dip pen sitting in there. And then I've got my On Tour set there. And at the front here, I'm just monitoring whether I tend to use these. This is the Inky Depths water brush. I'm just monitoring. I go through phases where I use different brushes more often, and I'm not using these like this. I usually use them with the ink inside them. So I don't know if they need to take up space right here, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. In fact, I'm going to put my skinny minis at the front because they're shortest. This is a set. This is one of the first things that I ever did, was a set of brushes in the barley blue, and they've got little contour tails. They're little mermaid tails. This is stiff plastic, and you can drag that through and create contours and textures. I'm going to put her there. I'm just monitoring if I keep them there because it's making things a bit squishy. Anyway, everything's clean, well, except that one back there, and organised and ready to go at a moment's notice, depending on my mood. So I'll pop them right there. Have you got any questions? Oh wow, Debbie says she's got one brush bay for her acrylics, one for her watercolours. I've got, don't think that that's all the brushes I have. Just on my immediate desk, all of my excess brushes I have. Brushes are a little bit like pens, you can just never have enough. But I've got all of my non-Jane ones, I all live out there. And because I really only use my own things, because I've invented them for myself, of course. Now, little guy, oh, you got a boogie. Would you like to sit down next to me on the floor, sweetheart? Little one. I had a terrible nightmare. I couldn't find Poppy in my nightmare. I woke up. I've never been so glad to wake up from a dream in my life. I was sweating. And then I woke up and I thought, why would my brain make me dream of that? And how I was crying. I was inconsolable in my dream. I woke up and my heart was pounding, the whole thing. And I just, but why? Like, I have dreamt where I'm on hold on the phone. Why? Why would my sleeping brain have me on hold listening to hold music? Sometimes I'm dreaming where I'm reading a book. And I must be writing the book as well. Because what am I can't remember. Like, what? Dreams are very strange. They really are. Oh, Debbie, that's a good one. Always check the movie theatres. That's where you find the popcorn. Yum. Okay, so let's use these colours. Why not? And let's play with the new brushes. How cute's the little house? And you do still have a little bit of room there at the front to put something else, or you could, you know, put a little pencil or something there. But it's just a lovely little compact set. And of course, big feature, as with all of our brushes, absolutely cruelty free. I'm sort of a bit of a stickler for that. I can't be having squirrel hairs and little animals. No. I'm just, and we've got the leatherette as well. So we're cruelty free wherever we can be in life in general. I think that's nice, don't you? So, I mean, of course, I could just pull out. I've got my colour library like this. This is with all of my watercolour pans as well. The original, there's 3 sets, you know, like the ones that come in. They're called a petite palette, these little guys. So I've got all of those, plus all of the colour library here, and that's the white gouache. This is just the colour library in the Fantastic palette. I don't know what they're barking at. Apologies. Nothing would be my guess. They're barking at nothing. Hey dudes. Whatever. But let's pretend that we're Monet and we are putting each colour out with a tube. We don't need to use the tube thing for that, but it's kind of fun. It makes me think of Melanie and I've got a brand new pair of roller skates, you've got a brand new key. It's like a little key, a little paint key. So I'm going to pop this up here, put this one here. Look at that colour. Just zoom back in. And if I put enough paint down, I'm feeling very painterly, I must say. I might need a bigger palette actually. I'll pop 20,000 Leagues right over the edge here. See, sometimes when you open up your paint, sometimes you get a little bit of that at the top. The same thing can happen with gouache, even layer cake, because that's gum arabic right there. It's risen to the top. It's totally inert. It's not an oil or anything. It's literally the gum arabic. And it's just in the settling process. Doesn't make any difference to the paint itself. And it's not a sign of anything other than it's just like the air at the top of a bag of chips. It's just it's there. And just put your colour down and keep on living your life. I'm giving myself a bit of Gulliver's Travels, which is the aqua. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to limit myself just to these colours, and these aren't really a set of mixing colours or anything like that. These are just, to be honest, my favourite colours. I'll pop a bit more of that one on. Gosh, I'm going to have to use my key again. Doop, doop. Oh, I love it. And then the little tubes all stay nice and juicy and fat. I'm wearing a shirt that feels like a shower curtain now. It is so blooming hot. I have to turn the air conditioning on. It's cotton. Why is cotton so hot? Okay. Yeah, cruelty free, always the right way to go. Can you make sprays with gouache? Yes, there'd be nothing stopping you from making the sprays. Oh, we could actually even top up some of these. So this is the Svelte sprayer. See, as soon as you said spray, now I'm going to have to do it. Now, I think I used this one the other day, and I've got quite a lot of paint per water in here, I think. I noticed. I'm just giving that a little bit of a shake, shake, shake. Which can sometimes mean that it'll be quite thick, the spray. It won't be more of a mist. Which, if you're going to go through here, that could be, it just won't be a fine little misting. It'll be a what have I got on that? I think that is actual chalk from, you know, like the chalk, the pavement chalk. That's a bit of scribble paper. I'm just looking for somewhere to do some testing. Oh, I could do it on there, but I don't like that paper. That is not one of mine. This is the back of something else, but this will be a nice spot to do some art. Why not? Just move that over there. Give myself a little bit of room here, and we'll get on it. Yes. Yeah, you can make big spray bottles with these. See, and these are the colours that we've got in the palette that, especially when we're doing the sprays and things, we just go through. Because these are colours that bring love and light. Yellow as well. Maybe we'll add yellow to the big tubes at some point, but this is where I'm starting. So speaking of starting, it's only because someone mentioned the word spray and I decided now I have to do a spray. Oh, actually purple might be the one I will need to use. Is that my Oliver Twist? Oh, that's gone with the wind. She's gone with the wind, fabulous. Okay, but I might still use that one. But the Svelte sprayer, oh, I just love it. So you just make sure it's in the open position. It's got it written on, you can go either side. And then it locks the mechanism when it's at the front. But if you're pushing and nothing's happening, it's fairly easy to work out what's not happening. Now this isn't a very fine lace, so I'm not going to get a really nice little fine in between thing, but let's just have a little play. We'll start off with this, shall we? Oh yes, look at that. So this is the watercolours. That's Gulliver's Travels in here. And if I want it to spread out a little bit more, I can also add a bit of just water. This is water in here. And the new Svelte sprayers, this was the first one that had the colour sticker on it. The next one, this is printed on there, and it's got a mixing ball included inside it already. It's also got measuring. I don't think the first one had the measurement on it, no. So this one's actually got measurements so that if you want to measure things out properly for pigments and whatnot, you can certainly do that. Now I'm going to have to grab some hot pink. Oh, Pride and Prejudice, she needs a little refill. Let's just do that as we go. So literally just squeezing some of that paint in there. I'm going to mix up a fair amount. You can put a little bit of extra gum arabic in there if you want to as well. So I've got some kind of binder. Where is she? She's usually just right there. Hello. Where's my little, oh there she is. I can add a little drop of this. This will just help the pigments stay on the paper because we are going to dilute it a lot. So I can add just a skerrick would be the correct 3 drops or something from a pipette. And if you don't know what I'm talking about here, that's the kind of binder which is our gum arabic medium. It's ethically sourced and that's what makes it a kind of binder. Gum arabic in general is a fantastic art supply in that the plants where they're grown help with desertification because they're grown in the areas that are just outside of deserts and they can help hold back that desertification. If people are growing, if these plants are worth more keeping them in the ground and planting them, it just helps. And then because they're a native plant to those areas, the animals that can make use of them as well can make their homes, and then they're not cut down. They are, it's the gum from them, like a maple syrup, you know, it's the gum that is used. So the tree gets to thrive and stay alive, and the people that can harvest it, but it's totally inert. It's included in our food. It's been in use for thousands of years in homeopathy and all sorts of other things, but as artists we can also use it. Why am I using a dropper, a pipette, to fill that up? I've had a brain lapse. I suppose I'm trying not to get water everywhere, but that would just take too long. So with sprays, I use this hot pink spray all the time, so I'm filling that up, but I'm only putting water. I'm leaving a good gap at the top because I need space so that everything can mix. You can hear the mixing ball in there. I added that mixing ball in, but now with our new Svelte sprayers, when you order those, you have the ball, and also we have them in, I think, sets of 6 now, 6s, so they're even more affordable. So I'm just getting that nice and mixed up. You can see if it's mixed up or not just by looking at the bottom. And then I'll just give that a little test. Sometimes with that first squirt, because it's been sitting there, if it's settled and the tube is full of just the water because the pigment has settled, which is what happens to these sprays, when you first squirt, it's going to be water that comes out. So I often forget, but just, you know, get yourself prepared. Also, you can just test and see if that is the consistency that you want, or whether you want to add a little bit more of the paint. You can only add too much when it gets so thick that you can't spray it at all and it comes squirting out rather than misting out. And then you just might need to add more water, right? So it's a joyful process. Okay. Oh yes, Debbie, and I just adopted 4 more elephants and a rhino. They're for all of us. For the Joy of Life palette, which is this gorgeous creature. Where is my Joy of Life palette? Where is she? She's named after my adoptees. Of course I dropped it in the paint. There it is, beautiful. I've got paint all over my fingers, but I'm not going to waste it, am I? I'm going to pop it over here. Yes, Apollo the rhinoceros, who is just starting his journey back to the wild. So exciting. So he was rescued as a little baby. His mum died of natural causes of anthrax. I forget that, you know, that's a natural thing that can happen. And he was with his mum and was found there, and it was quite a dramatic rescue. You can read all about it at Shieldbrook Trust. So cool. Prince Charles and Camilla were just there, and they met one of my other little adoptees, the other little baby rhino. And we've also got 3 new baby elephants. And on the Instagram this morning, there's a pregnant one, and she was an orphan, or like she's 14 or 15, and she sort of uses her body with its big guts to wedge herself closer to the water, and no one kind of stands in her way because she's bossy. And if you're pregnant for 2 years, I think you can be bossy. So I think we might adopt her too. But she's living wild. She's not a little baby anymore. Oh, I think I've been talking too much, waving my hands around too much, and now I've... Oh, I was just spraying this. What's going on, little fella? Are you not happy, sweetheart? What's going on? What's going on? What did I just do to you? Did I clog you up? Yeah, I'll take her to the hospital. No worries. Well, I got enough pink there anyway. This was totally fine, and then... Anyway, I really want to show you the... Even the lace looks cute, really, like that. I really just wanted to show you the brushes. Come on, love. Talking about elephants and every other thing on the planet. Now I am going to just dab some of that. It'll soften the colour, but it sometimes can reveal pattern a little bit more even. It's just a nice little start up there. But I will pat this. And get my brushes ready. So we're starting with the biggest one is the 12. And if I put the little packet there. Sorry, I'm just sorting myself out a little bit, darlings. Oh, and before I forget, I just need to take off the paint from that I dropped it in, because for sure I will get that everywhere in the next minute or so. Right, so we've got our 12 is our biggest. Compared with the Brush Ballet, which I will, in the On Point, just the turquoise ones. It's a different bristle, and these are quite a lot bigger, the biggest ones. We can do an awful lot with these. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Right. Got our little thing here. We've got our little sponge, our Dame Judy drench. Just going to pop her over. I need to give her a little wash, I think. Okay. It's part of the watercolour library, and they are not new colours. These are colours that exist. They're just the jumbo version of. And I mean, it might seem a bit mean which colours, like depending on what your favourite colours are. Your favourite colours might not be these colours, but I'm the picker-outerer, so it is what it is. So this is painting with the fresh watercolour. So it's a little bit of a different experience when you're painting with the watercolour from the tube rather than painting from the watercolour from the pan, where you've put the watercolour from the tube into the pan. I think we're just going to go abstracts, and I just added a bit more water to my brush. I've still got paint in there. And just letting that brush roll and dance. Look at that colour. Yes, I'm a picker-outerer of the colours. And here we have a little bit of the Little Women. So this is another delightful colour. It's just slightly redder. And you might be like, well, you know, Jane. And on screen, they look very, very similar, I must say. But in real life, they are not. And also, we just need 70,000 pinks, because that's how much pink is needed to bring about world peace and make us happy. And even then, I don't know if 70,000 pinks is enough. So that is the, oh, and I haven't, let's use a different brush, Jane. Gosh, you're so favoritism. So let's we'll dip into this gorgeous creature. This is the cobalt turquoise. So because it's a paste, you know, it's watercolor paste, we just need to work it a little bit just to get it in the tube. And I mentioned something about Monet earlier. Well, I went and saw a Monet painting. There's one at the Tweed Gallery. It's part of Australia's National Collection. It's one of the haystacks. In and of itself, it's a little bit wackadoo, like who cares, like, okay. But it's a Monet, and when you see Monets, I think, hold their power when you see the multiples of them. That's just me personally, and I'm very privileged to have been able to see that in my life in several exhibitions. Like for me, the best way to see the Monet is at the Orangerie, where it's his gift that he gave to France after World War II. He lost children in the war, and the whole of France was depressed, as you can imagine, and he created this set of huge paintings. He was losing his sight and his ability to perceive colour, and he created these huge paintings. They built a purpose-built gallery space for it with natural light. It's the most incredible experience, and to be there. So it wasn't quite that experience, seeing just the one fairly smallish painting, but I went with my mum, and I don't think, well, she doesn't think she's ever seen a real Monet, and it's a Monet. I mean, hello, it's like a superstar, right? Look at this beautiful purple these colours mix. And just for giggles, let's we'll mix this into a purple as well. It's just slightly different. Just it's a different purple. But yeah, it's beautiful gallery, beautiful gallery. It's free as well. Don't know why. I mean, I would have paid. You can do a donation. But you know, I was doing a bit of a Homer Simpson, so it's optional. I don't have to give a donation, but I did. But you know, fabulous thing to go and visit. Oh, and we had lunch there. I can recommend the Korean chicken. Okay, so what have we got happening here? I'm going to add a little bit of this turquoise here, and I'm going to add some in here. We're going to get a little bit of a purple, and here it'll be different again because this is a greener based, cooler based turquoise. And again, they look very close on screen, but in real life I can assure you they're quite different. Add lots of water in there. The colour's a bit stronger up there. Let it be nice and light down there. Might even add a little bit of this into, oh actually no. Oh right. Now I'm trying to stay to those colours, but I don't have to. There's no reason to. Is there really? She says, making up new rules for herself, knowing there are no rules. She wants to add a little bit of gold into the wings because obviously a fairy started appearing, and this is the Lay Cake icing palette. So I've got gold in the brush, and I'm also adding a little bit of, I can't remember her name, pastelage is it? Because I'm not a chef, I must say some of these terms are not second nature. Pastelage. I think that's making like the little marzipan shapes, like the little lollies. Like when you make that. But I'm just adding a little bit of icing, a little bit of twinkle. These are chameleon colours, so they change colour depending on where the light is and where your eyes are and all of that. So they've got glimmer and that colour shifting property, which we love. So I'm going to give it a bit of a colour shift on here as well, why not? And then these 5 colours are metallic, just out and out metallic. This gold is just divine. So I'll add that there, and so she can have a little bit of gold tipped energy, and that'll help her little wing. I haven't really done a very good wing shape yet, but let's just see what happens. Okay. Yes, Debbie, good point. Hey, PM Artist Studio, nice to see you. Oh, now I'm just looking at comments. Dana's she's been to the lingerie. It's magnificent, beyond magnificent, isn't it? I had a full out-of-body experience in there. It was magic. And I was never a big Monet fan. Like, it's just your eyes are used to it because you've seen it. And then I went to Giverny, his home. You can go and visit. It's all been refurbished. The gardens are just magnificent. You can get the bus there and you can ride a bike through the countryside, the French countryside. It's absolutely heaven in any form of weather, because I've been there in all forms of weather, and including raining so hard I thought I might drown. We had a group of escape artists with us. I've also just changed down to a different brush size, and I'm going to start getting a little bit of painted veil happening. And just the whole experience. And then his grave is there, so it's at the little church, and I think some of his family members are there. And again, I was standing there looking, and I really didn't expect, looking at, it's how long has he been passed away for? I don't know. I just did not expect, and I had, again, full out-of-body experience, being there, right there at the church where he would have gone every, he probably helped build it or pay for it, whatever. This beautiful little town, little village. It's all very touristy now, but very tasteful. Like, I'm a tourist, so yay, thank you for making it touristy. We love that. For us, otherwise wouldn't be there at all. Wouldn't have been there at all. So, and I just had this incredible experience where I really felt his presence, like I really felt that connection. And ever since then, I've just had a real, emotional connection to Monet. It's like, I'd seen Frida Kahlo paintings, but it's just whichever artist it is, and then suddenly there's something builds an emotional connection. You feel just connected to their art, to them, to that time, part of that legacy. I don't know, it's just this beautiful moment. So I had that there, and then got back on my bike and rode back into the town. It could have been the cheese that I got at lunch, we had fancy cheese. Sitting there by the river, just the most heavenly of days. So, yes, very, very privileged to see such a thing, experience such a thing. I've been there a few times. I'd like to go again, actually. And just enjoy these amazing things in life. Okay, I better change my brush. So we've done the 12, the 10. I think this was the 8. We're going to go down to the 6. So I've even the brushes are different sizes. I mean, they're just, it's a different shape, it's a different size. Just if you want the excuse to have all the brushes, you have it. But if you equally need me to tell you not to get them, if you've got my other Brush Ballet, you'll be okay. And these come with a beautiful travel wrap as well. That beautiful travel wrap, so you can certainly travel with these. I mainly use the travel wrap when I'm washing them and putting them in there and let them dry, rather than travel with the big brushes, but that's just me. I have to get them to you safely, so that's how I do it. Shall we mix? I'm going to do, let's mix this. And what happens if we mix this and this? We're going to get like beautiful corally, we're going to warm that pink up. And let's just sneak a bit of this in here too. Let's see what we get. So I've got quite a bit of speculation in her face. She's got a bit of a blue base. We'll just let that dry off because I can add more. It's got a little bit of opacity to it, and I've also got lots of other art supplies I can bring to bear for that. And then she's going to have pink hands. I think she's got pink gloves on. Because why not? Or maybe she's been picking, she's a flower fairy. She's been picking so many little flowers that she's got little pink hands now. She better not come in with her pink hands in helping the tooth fairy though, because I think she would scare the children. And I'm going to mix this, the dark pink, I'm going to pop that here, and I'm going to do a little mixy poo, and we'll get our other purple. Let's get it dark, and let's bring some of this in here too. Let's see what we can. Bring a bit more of that one in. Just so I can get the darkest colour possible with these light colours, really. Oh, we're almost going into a navy blue. Well, she probably has pink teeth too. And she might be scaring the children if she helps the tooth fairy. The tooth fairy's like, thank you, pink fairy, for your help, but you're scaring the children today. Yeah. But see, if you have the pink hands when you're helping all the little flowers get pollinated, well, that's quite cute and charming. When you're arriving in children's bedroom with your pink hands, it's a different story. You know, there's a time and place for everything. So I just dropped my brush in the paint there, so I just had to wash off. Okay, so I'm going to drop down to a smaller brush. Poppy's telling what outside. Oh, it's probably that fairy coming along with the pink hands to pose for me. Okay, now let me just have a look at those comments. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, don't you think she needs some legs? I might just go back up to a bigger brush and just, oh, and I put a bit of whatever was in there. Okay, so this is the little, no, flower fairy, no. Okay, so she's got 1 foot there. Should we let her do a little leg out here? Oop. Now, if I'd planned this out, maybe I would have put her a little bit higher so I could get all of her leg in and her foot, but whatever. Would she have happened anyway? So there's her little body. That can be the top of her thigh about there. That might be her little thing. Oh no, she nearly would be getting her foot in. But I think she's getting smaller and smaller as she goes, so we'll just leave it like that. I can always squeeze a little foot in there later. But might get this slightly darker colour in here. That's her little dress. So I don't know what this business in front magic. It's her magic is flowing. And, oh, 1 minute. Okay. We switched down to this. Have I used this guy? I think I used her for the hands. So let's go down to the smaller one. It's like, oh, how nice. It's just, I can't even tell you. You can't feel it as much in the smaller ones, but then a brush this tiny is light, right? And these are light brushes. And these wouldn't be much heavier, to be honest. But they just have I don't know, it's just a feeling, oops, a feeling of rolling them all over the art. It's not the feeling I was actually going for. Yes, so what I've launched today are these new brushes and the new brushes and the big tubies, and she's got lovely boobies, and that's the gift, the paint key, which you can also use on your toothpaste, hand cream, or whatever other tubes you have. And then these undo and fit into the little leatherette pouch. And I will just show you. This is the tube that I will keep demonstrating on. So it's built so that it's open at the end, so you can. Oops! Now we need to go from the. No shortcuts. We start at the very beginning. Boop, and then twist. Set yourself up, Jane, for success. There you go. There you go. And we twist and twist and twist, pushing the delightful paste towards the top, with the lid on, of course. But because it's open here, some of them are closed, and you have to stick with it then. You can just pull this out. It's already twisted, and then you can use this. You only need one key for multiple tubes. But that's a free gift when you get the set. It's just a special ultra Davin Peak collectible little numberette. I don't know if that is actually a technical term that we'll hear again, but it's a nice word. Numberette. Just adding a little detail, might even a bit brave, and oh, that might be too dark. I'll just let that dry first. I was going to add that little fingers. Let's think about this. So here's her shoulder, her shoulderette. Here's her other shoulder. Her neck will be about there, I think. I think we've got that in the right space. There's her other shoulder. We've got arm. And we've got, is she throwing her head back in delight? Is she laughing? Is she concentrating? Is she making magic come out of her eyes? Like, what is she doing? Who is this? So I just need to let I think she's tipping her head back, which means I'll have to change this around a little bit. But we love a laughing fairy. And fairies love to laugh. They do. This is probably fair enough. She has appeared before in my work. I'm going to change up to a bigger brush because I need hair. And hair needs a bigger brush for today. I'm just going to get that nice and full. The other thing you could do is you could have each brush a different colour, you know, so you don't have to wash out any paint. Oh, this brush. Thank you. And this is like, the bigger the brush, the more of this business of the push and pull you can have, because you can hold more paint, hold more water, and it's going to have a little bit more, you know, frivolity, movement, etc. I'm going to add in a little bit of the Pride and Prejudice. So this is called Pride and Prejudice. It's all the P's for pink, because the pinkiosity is very intense. But it's also, Pride and Prejudice is one of my favourite books. We read it at school, and I loved it. It's so funny. I love all the different films of it. My favourite one's the Keira Knightley one. I love that Mrs. Bennet and Dame Judi Dench, not Judi Dench the sponge, but the real Dame Judi. Plays such a wonderful role. It's just, yes, I like it. I like it. Okay, so this is a little bit turbanish. We haven't quite got the movement that I require yet, but we will get there, don't you worry, eventually. With the help of my brushes. Oh, I think she might even have hot pink fingers just to really terrify the children. She's been in the garden. She really has pink shoes on too. Oh, great one, Pam. Pam took advantage of the fabulous workshop special that we had last month, and she's in all of her Facebook groups so she can share her artwork. Fantastic. I'll see you there. Marianne just said, is Art Vent calendar happening? Yes, but I think we'll just have it for December. And I've got a major thing going on that's got nothing to do with art, and it's just a life thing happening. It's not an illness, it's nothing serious like that, but it's making me have anxiety and this and that, and I don't think I can do my live streams every day yet, so because I've got to spend a bit of time on that. So, but I think for Christmas, for December, I think I'll try and do Art Vent. Yes, that's where we try and do a live stream every day, and we have different art supplies every day. But I've got some like lovely surprises coming, and as always, all that good stuff. And Art Vent is something, I think we've done it twice now. This would be our third year, so I am definitely planning to do it. Because I've got so many art supplies, we had to start it in November. Last year we started in November and finished in January. So, and now it would be even more. I'd have to start it. I'd finish in April. Just because, you know, we just have a lot of art supplies and beauty happening. So I have to work out how I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll just do the things from the JDHQ era, which is more of the modern era. I don't know. But then it's hard to leave some things out because I use everything. So I'm just working things out for myself gradually. Now, what I might just try and do, because this is still a little bit wet, actually I'll add the water over everywhere. And this paper, I don't know how much it will like being lifted, but No. Sometimes you can lift off some colour, but it depends on the paper and the paint and that combination. I don't mind the splatters in here, but her face is very lichen. I'm not sure if I completely dig that. I don't mind a few freckles, but that we're doing a lot there. So I might come over with layer cake, and if that doesn't do the trick, which I think it should, then acrylic will block it out and just give me a fresh canvas to start with again. But I need to let that paper dry off a little bit first, otherwise it's just going to just be too difficult to work out the what not of it all. So I'm going to distract myself with other areas. Of the paint. Let's get her little fingers in. So just the blocks in the background, they were just suggestions really. Ew, I've messed that finger up quite royally. And if I want to come in here with white, I would use white layer cake as well. And I can use these brushes for that too. And then just the colours that I put down first were just a little way of starting the adventure. And if I wanted to, you know, really keep creating on this, and I needed more perfection, I can always, this is just an understudy, you know, most, you know, major paintings would have started off a few little versions of them first. Okay. Oh, my little puppy circus was so fun. Oh, I'm glad, Sarah, that you've got that under control. Mine is not, it might take my time rather than my energy. Do you know what I mean? Like I've just got something on. So I just have to. But yes, nothing to do with art. It's just a neighbourhood thing. So good in the hood. But then again, you know, I say that and I might decide that I need to do a live stream every day. We'll just say. But I'll tell you what, I'm reading such a good book at the moment. It's called The House of Odysseus. It's the second in a series. The first one was called Ithaca. It's on the Greek spectrum of things, ancient Greece. Oh, and it's the first one was the aftermath of the Trojan War for Odysseus's wife Penelope. I'm just obsessed with the Trojan queens. And Clytemnestra Helen of Troy, the famous one, the face who launched 1,000 ships. Penelope was married to one of the great heroes, Odysseus, and she, the island is the island of Ithaca. So it's just an interesting story. And this one, the last one, had Hera, queen of the gods, of the Greek gods, of mothers, of women. That's sort of her wheelhouse. But she really was the queen of the gods and married to Zeus. They're brother and sister, but wasn't exactly her choice. But anyway, it is what it is. And I didn't write the story. And this one is Aphrodite's voice telling the story. And I'm loving it so much. And the last one I read was, it wasn't in the voice of the goddess, but it was Artemis, who was the hunting. They're just so interesting. And then, because you do know the stories, like, you know the stories, and they've been retold in various versions in modern storytelling a million times, as well as remakes of the originals in movies and so forth. Oh, it's so good. So you're kind of familiar with them. Like if you hear about Achilles, you're like, yeah, Brad Pitt. And we've seen Perseus with, the Pegasus and Andromeda in Clash of the Titans. They do pop up in movies every so often. Hercules and so forth. But, it's just, I love it so much. And I try and have a favourite goddess or one that I would be like, well, this is who I would, if I lived in those days, who would it be that I sort of aligned myself with, was who I would be a devotee of. And I can't decide because they're all a little bit rotten. But as Aphrodite says, you can have war and this and that and be smart and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's all about love, and that's her wheelhouse. So even Zeus is frightened of Aphrodite with her powers. So it's an interesting book, and I'm very much enjoying it. It's called House of Odysseus. But you have to read Ithaca first if you're going to read that. And then you come and do the Gods and Monsters workshop, and we can talk about it even more. I'm really liking these weird pink hands. Okay. Oh, Pam says I make everything seem so pleasant. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, Clash, the 80s one with Harry Hamlin and that mechanical owl. Oh, loved it so much. I think that's why I love these old stories just so much. How good was the old Clash of the Titans? My friend had it on VHS or something, so we used to watch it every time I went to our house, I think. I had The Wizard of Oz, so we would always watch The Wizard of Oz at my house. Unfortunately, she also had the Halloween series. I really didn't need to see that. That scared the jeepers out of me. It was too much. I've been scared of stairs ever since, don't ask me why. Just things grabbing you, because her house had a lot of stairs in it. Those open stairs, the modern stairs where someone can grab you through the ankles. I've always been scared of them forevermore, because that's what her brother did to us. Permanently traumatised me. So I'm using layer cake. You can get, there's 3 colours you can get as little singles. White, which is Pavlova, dark rum, which is the dark blue, and Genoise, which is like a skin tone. In fact, I might use that on her little face. It's just one of the skin tones, this one. Oh, these are all around the wrong way. Oh, let's use the fine. No, let's use this brush. This one. What was I saying? Yes, I quite like using it as a little single pan because these colours, they just, the dark rum was a special edition. So this was back in the days with layer cake where I thought this might be the only layer cakes I was ever going to do. It was one of the first JDHQ art supplies. And then of course I've gone on to create 7 of these large palettes, 2 travel palettes and 13 of the colour wheels, and you know, probably will be adding more over time, you know, as the ideas keep dropping. But can't remember where my brain was going with that because I was secretly thrilled that that coverage was just perfect. Thank you, Brush. What was I saying? Oh, tickle, 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 tickle. Just tickle it to activate. Don't need to add tons of water because I want it quite creamy because I do want it to cover that up. But I'm going in layers, so layer cake's fabulous because it's the layering of the cake that makes it just so good. So I can let that painted veil be the darker tone, and I can add volume. So I was thinking I was talking about just these little guys on their own. Yeah. And so you can see the ones that I've used the most of are those. And as with all my art supplies, I'm very often thinking of myself and my own needs. And that's what drives everything, is what I'm doing so in the ether. It's in the, these are things that don't exist. And I can do whatever I want. And you either get it or you don't. And it's marvellous if you get it and understand, and we're vibing. But I don't expect everyone to, certainly. It's a Jaff and Peep thing, you know. We're birds of a feather. If you're watching this, I'm assuming that you know what it is. We're kind of the same. We get each other. So, you know, I think I can live with that amount of mottling on the face. I think that we're getting there, and I can let that dry. Yeah, Zandra, I think that might be a very valid point that you just made. I exactly thought of that when I was chatting, when I started using it again. The buttercream, I think she's going to have to be a little singularity. You know what? I mean, I could do a colour wheel that's just all golds, you know, like all different golds. But even then, like, the buttercream might go. Oh, good, I managed to put my palette right in the painted veil. What is wrong with you, love? Pop that there. Okay, now, what else? So I really do have to let that dry. Do you know what might be a nice little tool to make myself behave and just let it dry? Is sketch size, because this I can add detail with, but I'm not going to be adding black lines. I'm adding pen, and it's sketchy and all of that sort of thing. I can erase it if I so desire. I can just press a little bit harder if I want a bit more. But I can add a little bit of movement and a little bit of detail with my Sketcher size pencil before I do anything. And because it's graphite, it has got a little bit of a shine to it. So, okay, here's her body. So I'm going to use the principles that I have in Fabulous Figures. If you're doing the workshop with me, or you have the book, then you know about this little heart principle. The book even comes with a set of hearts in the back that you can press out as templates, and there's even a little envelope in the back that you can store them in so they don't get lost. And it's got all of how to use them and the whole thing, but eventually you don't really need to use the little actual hearts. I think they help definitely in the beginning so you can understand it, but then once you understand it you can visualize it in your head, because here's that top heart, there's her lower part of her torso, and then so there's going to be a leg attaching, and the leg is about the height of that, the hearts together. So if we've got that, that's going to be about to the knee. So these are the kind of little measurements I'm just making in my mind. And then also once you've drawn a lot, you get a bit of a idea of how proportions are going to look. But certainly when you're starting, you do need a little bit of that assistance. Why not? Oh, she's got very straight legs. Well, that's just the way it is. Give her a little bit of a cleavage. Oh. Right. Oh, so we need a rose gold. Well, in the meantime, before we get the rose gold in layer cake, don't forget, you've got the rose gold in the artificial intelligence. I've got my neons here, my Atlantis, and my artificial intelligence watercolors. So we do have a bit of a rose gold situation happening there, and there's all of the golds in the fairy dust. So it's not layer cake, but we do certainly have quite a selection of golds already in various formats. That's the fairy dust, the moth edition, and the magical ones. And then look at all the gold. Ooh la la! So that's more like buttercream here. And you've got more of your rose golds and whatnot, as well as heavens. And then these are the gorgolas. Oh, I haven't got the new ones on there. I've changed the way I've got my stuff displayed. I have to move my cameras around so I can show you how I've done that. So all of this fluffing around is just to make myself leave her face alone so that I can let it dry so that I can come in and add some detail. Oh, sketcher size. I love you so much. It's just so they've got a nice weight. It's got this contouring here, so it's not slippery, but it's smooth up here, so it just feels nice. So that's the 0.5, and the black. Where is my other one? Oh, there she is. She was camouflage. Who are you? So she lives here with the technical, with my fountain pens. But I need you back. See, the fountain pen would be a nice little tip for this, but I've got wet stuff, I've got this and that, and I could clog my pen up. So I can't damage this. So this is a terrific little thing. And yeah, that's right, that's correct. This might be not quite right, but in fact, that's a bit chunky, like not proportioned. So I'm going to just grab a little bit of this. I could use my white gouache. There's the other one, but this is closer, and I have to open up a tube. Bam. Actually, that's not right. I should have come in here. And I want her to arch back a little bit more. She's a bit stiff. So I'll leave like that, but I will, she's a bit, I can't breathe, is what she's saying. I can't let my corset go a little bit, please. Oh, so this is a work in progress. At some point I thought this was going to be a very quick little thing, but then I started enjoying it a little. I just started enjoying it. And isn't that what art is about? Okay, let me have a little look. Oh, Nicole says, I love Jane's art so much. It's like, oh, that's so nice. I'm having a little look at everything, my sweeties, just to make sure. What did you use for the brighter colours? Oh, these are, if you missed the beginning, these are the 5, they're not new colours, but these are new tubes. So they're twice the size of the colour library tubes. And they're, oh, that's the repeat, wait a minute. That's the colours. So Gulliver's Travels, 20,000 Leagues, Pride and Prejudice, Little Women, and Painted Veil. So of these are Little Women, Pride and Prejudice, and 20,000 Leagues are considered a master, like the top quality of watercolour because they're single pigments. These are what is sometimes referred to as a convenience mix, which doesn't mean they're lower quality. It means they're colours that I've created for you. And I find sometimes at the convenience mixes, which in this set is full of them, are some of the colours that are used most often as well. But the what's called a master quality pigment, or as a single pigment, are usually what's used for mixing other colours as well. But that's just like, it's real boffin stuff, I've got to say. And I don't, like, I like being aware of it, but it doesn't make any difference to my art. And in fact, sometimes knowing these rules and other things can get in the way of it because it makes you second guess what you naturally would just intuitively select as a colour. Sometimes I don't want to mix a colour, I want a colour that I just want to be able to use the colour. So let me just show you. Wind in the Willows, this beautiful green. Greens are easy to mix, but unless you know colour theory, getting to that green, getting to this green, getting to this green, this can be hard because it involves warm and cool colours and all of this other stuff. Why wouldn't we just want the green that we want to use? So you don't have to, you want to paint a tree, you just want to paint the tree. And then you can find little differences in the colour. So, you know, this is the reason why you've got the other colours and skin tones. Sure, I mean, of course you can mix them, but it's not easy, especially for people that are just beginning. And look, I know how to mix a skin tone. Do I just prefer to use something that I know is going to work, and then I can keep building it? Because I've got a lot of other stuff I've got to do, you know. This is just my philosophy. And then if you are more of a traditional artist and all of these rules, some people love all this stuff, the rules and the pigment numbers and the that is fabulous, and that's just wonderful. And you can be both those people. It's not one or the other. It's not right nor wrong. It is what it is. I'm just explaining my philosophy for the day. It might change tomorrow, I don't know. I'm a fluid artist, intuitive, one day fairies, the next day. Well, I did a snake lady the other day. I'm not particularly proud of her, I must say, but, you know, she was what she was. It was Halloween. I did something. And sometimes just, it's just the doing something is the important part. It's not about even what you create, it's that you created it all. Don't you think, or is that just me? So I think I've willy-nillied around enough that I can do this. Okay. Oh yes, the rules, mixing and the matching and that. But some people's minds love that. Like that for them is how they feel creative, and I'm not disparaging that at all. That's just not how my mind. I've got a lot of other. I've got other challenges that I don't plan out my paintings first too. A lot of people do that. Sometimes I do. I have been known to do that. But some people, you know, plan it out real good. And that's just, I'm drawing. I sort of like to just go along, willy-nilly it, and then see if I like it, and just see where I go from there. And it's art, so it doesn't matter. It's you know, it's expressing yourself. So there's room for every way of creating. Oh, I love this little fairy. Oh, she's kind. I don't know who she is, but she's kind. She's got a little kind face. I can just tell. Where's she looking? Is she looking at us? I think she's looking at us. Hello. How are you, sweetie? We've caught her as she's off doing things. I think she's got, oh, look at this beautiful peachy colour we mixed earlier. So I'm going to pop that. And you can just leave these to dry out. You don't have to wash this off straight away. This is the little mini mixer, by the way. This little palette. Oh, it's a nice brush. It's a nice little lady. Okay, now for that really fine white, I think I'll go in because I've got my nice fine brushes, so let's do that. And just grab a little bit, tickle, 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 tickle. This is layer cake. Tickle, tickle. Oh, actually, I might have little Santa baby at the ready, because then I've got gold, silver, I've got black and white. I might need those others. Just to start building that face. So layer cake is a water media. I've actually started putting that in this layer cake water media because people, it's just, if people see it for the first time, they're just like, what? But is it gouache? Is it layer cake? Well, it's sort of, it's in that zone. It's part of that family. So let's just say water media. Watercolor is a broad category because there's watercolor inks, pan watercolor, watercolor tubes. You know, we make our watercolor sprays, watercolor crayons, watercolor pencils. So sort of it sort of is, you know, things you add water to, and gum arabic is really part of its DNA, and that is what we're talking about. Oh, look at her cute little face. Oh. Faye asked, did I've managed to finish the journal with the jelly plate stuff in it? I think that's this journal. Might be this journal. Certainly this has got jelly plate doodly-doos in it as well. But if you ask me, did I finish a journal? I don't know if they're ever finished. But I have so many. And I will continue to have more. I love it all. I think I'll add a little bit of hands here as well. Oh, that's a bit far back. Oh, my fingers aren't long enough. Oh well. Problem for another day. And she looks a bit worried. Wonder what she's worried about. Just reconstitute that. I may even grab a little bit more of that Pride and Prejudice, that Opera Rose. I think like that, and just all these colours. But that sort of really warm neon pink just makes me, it does something to my psyche, to my spirit. At the art gallery I went to the other day, there's a famous Australian artist called Margaret Olley, and her house, before it was knocked down in Sydney, it was old, it was all packed up and meticulously recorded and moved, and the gallery was built around it. So there are parts of the house, and it's made so it's got a certain amount of rooms, and you can walk all around, look in. You can't be in it because it's got her collections. And where she painted, she was a still life painter, and she lived to quite a ripe old age, lovely lady, and this incredible legacy that's left behind, and that's been recreated with her paintings around. And then they think of different ways of, because it's a permanent collection, of how to present her artwork. So it can be, they're just continually trying to think of new ways to keep that beautiful legacy alive, and you know, we might have people visit again and again. So the current exhibition is, they've invited 3 modern artists, 3 ladies, women, to paint or have her objects inspire them and have her art inspire them. And they had an artist in residency there and blah, blah, blah. And one of these beautiful florals, here I took a photo, had neon pink in it. And at first I thought it was Margaret Olley's, and I was like, no, it can't be, because neon pink is a new pigment. But there was neon pink and then a little bit of lime green next to it, and it just makes my eyes so happy. Like, this was the painting. The artist's name was Laura Jones, and this is a very, very loose florals. Look at this. But look at the lime green masking tape, and this hot pink, I don't know what it was, maybe it's tape or something else, with all the beautiful flowers, but just that part down there near the turquoise. Even if we didn't have that lime green, the lime green makes the hot pink even, because they're complementary colours, it makes them appear even brighter than they are. But then when they're in there, but even if we didn't have that, ooh, like just the neon pink, just at the edge of the painting, and she's got a bit of neon red in there. It just, I've been thinking about that painting ever since. I just never seen neon pink in a gallery, fancy art gallery. Don't know why. Well, now we have. Well, because it's kind of new, I guess, is the other thing. Maybe people are scared of it. I don't know. They shouldn't be. Just a little pop of, in a very modern art gallery, you're going to see it. Yeah. But this is a mix. You know, you've got Monet. Monet was in the room, on the wall behind it. And then on the next, neon pink. Oh, I was just in heaven. I think Monet would have used neon pink if he knew, if he had it, if it was a pigment that existed for him. He would have been straight into that Opera Rose, like no one's business, because the colours of the garden, it's one of those colours. Like, this is in nature, these pinks. So anyway, I was very excited, as you can tell. Look at this lovely little fine brush and what she can do. So I've got, this is Santa Baby is the name of this palette. So it's sort of a Christmas palette, obviously, and Santa Baby with the name. But mixing these two, just talking about complementary colours, you're going to get an instant grade off neutral, really nice one. As well as having popping red, a beautiful emerald green. You've got gold and silver. It's a different gold than the one that I was just showing you before. It's a cooler gold. Beautiful, lovely silver, and black and white we need. all the time as well. So this is just a really good little general palette. But I don't want to put black in between the lips there. It'll be a bit much. I'm going to go back in for purple. This little purple that I've made between all of these. Oh, I don't think that is juicy enough. You know what? There's a colour that I'm thinking of. Where is she? This is the Fall For You palette. It's All Hallows Eve. So with Halloween finished, my American friends, does that mean it's winter for you now? Or are you still in autumn? Is it still autumn until... When does like winter start? Like, is it like it's like in full thing? Is it, or is it cold? No, there's no neon pink in the Louvre. There would be in the George Centre Pompidou because it's a modern colour. But that's not to say they wouldn't have used it if they had it. I'm sure some of the artists would. I read a fabulous book. Oh, what was the name of it? Colour Storm or something like that. And it was about the discovery of a new colour and how all the artists were clambering to get this. It was rumoured that there was a new colour, and how artists, it was just such a big thing whenever a new colour came on the market, because people's eyes hadn't seen it before. So if you could have that as part of your painting, you know, everyone would want to have you painting if you could get the whatever that new colour was. You know, it was the thing. It was a big deal. It was a fabulous book. Colour Storm, I think it was set in Venice in the Renaissance, or just after. No, you know, Black Plague, yeah, Renaissance. And yeah, it was cool. So this is like a greyed off purpley blue cornflower. I don't know how you describe this. I just, I've got a little colour measurer, and I like a colour collection little device which I can hold over paintings or actual objects or things, and it reads the colours and transcribes it down to numbers, and from there I can create a new colour paint. So I actually had a colour called Tinsel, which was based off my dog, her fur. I've had a colour based off one of my little dog's tongues, just that exact right lovely corally pink. And these colours, this is of her another painting. So a colour that I've mixed up and that I wanted to be able to dip into whenever I needed it. So that is where a lot of my colour wheels, because they're a vibe, they're based off a collection of colours that work well together and that are very important to me. Anyway. Oh, I like her. Okay, she's just zooming along, living her best life with a little blue. This is all a bit stiff, her little body, but I'll work that out. I'm going to add a little bit of aqua into her eyes. I love painting with a little brush. So, and then I haven't, she needs a little bit of highlight and a little bit of this and that in there as well. Let's add a little bit of this aqua. I'm going to water it down just a little bit and add just a little bit of that into my shadows. Not too much. I don't want it to stand out like green spots on the face, especially after we worked so hard to get rid of the green spots on her face. But just as a little reflection from here and here. So I wonder, how can maybe I need more room on this side of the body. Yeah, I'll just keep working away on things. Because I started off with her so intuitively and loosely, you know, sometimes these, and then decided that I wanted to add more detail. Might need to move things around a little bit, you see. And sometimes I don't feel like doing that extra stuff. We want it to stay just nice and loose, but sometimes they want more detail. It depends on the painting. So her wing is really in the wrong spot. It's not connecting to her back. So I'm just going to grab this colour here, get my bigger brush, add lots of water so it's going to be really light, and then just see how it feels when I just start pushing it over there a little bit more. Just come in. Beautiful part about a clear palette too is if you wanted to mix a colour and just check it before you put it down, you can see it. Also, I can hold it and I can see through, and I can still see my painting even as I'm mixing up a colour. Which is quite nice, really. Oh, that's not quite, but I quite like that. But that is a nice shadow colour that I've got on my brush. It's a bit juicy, but there we go. Okay. Bye, Polly. Okay. Oh, Pam's just come back from 10 inches of snow. Whoa. No, we're going to get, it's been pretty hot, but it's going to get hotter. Our summer hasn't even started, but what are we in, an El Niño year? So it's meant, it's everyone's forecasting that we're going to have a brutal summer. It's already, everything's on fire. Blah blah. It's just a bit scary, but that's Australia. It is Australia. I know it feels like you know, the world's going to hell in a handbasket and la 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 weather-wise, but just we've all, like, you know, we do have crazy weather, and things can survive it. You know, sometimes I mean, I know I get a bit like, oh, what's going on? Oh. But these are the rhythms. I mean, they might be exacerbated by things, but I don't think her hair should be going in behind. There. Yes, so what's my point? It's hard having a point and drawing a fairy at the same time. Her neon pink hair. Yes. There we go. Well, it still looks a little bit like a hat, like a big hair hat, but maybe I'll just let things dry and I'll come back with fresh eyes, and it's got something to do with up here. I need more movement. And that's what makes this layer cake just so gorgeous. I can just push that back a little. I might even need just a little bit more skin tone in there. So because this has opacity, I'm just going to get a little bit of fallen leaves. No, cozy, sorry, cozy. From the pull a few palettes. So it's very similar to Genoise. It's close enough that I can just pop it on here. Just give her a little bit more. And then I can bring the hair back over here as well. I might even come over and just disguise a little bit more of that. Undertone. Oh, she's so cute. Okay, I'm just going to, actually, no, I need cream. Where is my, probably a circus. This really light beige in here, so just wash off that brush. So I think this is Fetch. Stop trying to make it a thing. Oh, Wayne, what is it? If you know, you know. Ooh. So I'll fix that. There's something a bit odd going on there. I'll fix that. Ooh, I've got a bit of dry brush. Love it. And just add a little bit of secondary highlight here. This all adds a bit of volume. And then once that's dry, I can come in and shape her hair again a little bit. Oh, Pam's enjoying more time for art. Oh, yeah, the fires. Ugh. Yes. But yeah, it's just part of that cycle when it gets hot and blah, blah, blah. So with the brushes, you can put them away before they're fully dry, but if you were traveling, but I would open them up and let them dry. Excuse me, dry out. There is a little hole there, so they can keep drying out on their own. But if you had to put them away sopping wet, for instance, I would just check on them just make sure that they're drying nicely. In case the little porthole got blocked up or something. Hopefully that wouldn't happen, but you never know. And actually, is that ear just in the wrong hemisphere? Gosh, things change so much with the chin. She just went from being quite young to lady, sort of girlish, to a bit more lady. So I like it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I need this. And then we can soften that off a little. Okay, so we've got more tumbling, flowing locks. I've got too many lines there. So I can come in with a little bit of whatnot later. Let's give her some little accessories, a little bit of gold. I might even give her a little bit more of a smile, She is a little flower fairy. Just with that pencil. And I can always come in with something darker, with paint, whatever, pen, or lay cake. What shape earrings should she have? Might do dangly ones that dangle and drop. And she can have a little bit of a chain and some bit of a chain around the waist, maybe a bit of a gold bow, ring, bit of bling, just a little on the eyelids there. And some gold highlights in the hair, maybe in the wings. Oh, well, thank you for joining me today. And yes, the new brush sets are there for you. Beautiful little set for Christmas, perhaps. You don't have to wait till then to use them. Goodness me, no. And the new tubes of watercolour. And of course, can't wait to give you the little key that comes with that full set. What else can I tell you? That's really it for now. That was a lot of fun, my little flower fairy with her pink hands. The largest size journal, so I'll just take last questions. The largest size journal I have is the A4 one, and that is, oh, I don't have one right there. It's just here. The largest one I have. So this one is one I've made with full-size sheets of watercolour paper. The limitation with working so big is it takes up a lot of room. I do love working really, really big. Well, I am at the moment, but I went through a stage where I didn't like working. You know, just it changes. So that's my biggest one. Still pretty big. Oh, I've got a big blob of watercolour. I've just put on my finger. I'm just going to put that, rub that into the paper. And I've got some there and there. I'm just going to rub that in. There's some over there. Okay, yes, so that is the A4 one. Oh, this is a journal with secrets in it, so blah, blah, blah. No, can't show you any of that. I can just do that. Yes, so A4, you can still get these on my website. And then the next size, oh here, I'll put it here. So this is not quite A3, but getting there. Actually, it might be an A3. And then the B5 is the drawing room journal. This is such a good size for just the average desk, because even this is a bit big for some people, just because you know, when it's open it does take up a lot of room, and the drawing room journals are just, you know, it's just a really good size to do all of your art journaling in, and it's not so massive to travel with. So this is just a great size. So I've got lots of different journals in this. This is one I've painted, but this is the Back to the Fuchsia, which usually just has a pink cover. Aquaculture Glittering Prize is the purple one with the sparkly paper in it. There's the multicoloured journals, the smooth operated. There's I think there's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8, and I think I'm missing one in that size. And this is B5 as well. That's the levitation with the like the Tomo River type paper, the crinkly gorge. And then this is the window pane journal with the vellum, the see-through. Oh, that crinkling just makes me so happy. And then I do also have some smaller journals. I haven't got one right next to me, the little tiny square one, because it's in my travel stuff. And so it's a little square guy. And there's also one of the original ones. Again, I don't have it. Oh, here, it's this size. This size journal, which was one of my original journals as well. So sort of like that Moleskine size. But I find this for me, a little bit small as my like major journal. And this, you're losing a lot of area. So it just depends what, you know. And you can always have lots of different size journals, like me. And then the covers go with, these are the covers. So we've got this size cover, we've got the size cover for all of my journals. There's square covers, there's the B5 one, there's the A4, and also you can cut them and shape them to help fit things. So this one, for instance, would have been the A4, and I've cut it down in height. I could also cut it at the back and shimmy it up and make it fit this a bit better. And then I've also got the A3 size journal cover, which is what this one is in. Oh, actually, this isn't one of my ones. My ones are better quality than this. But I've got the A3 one as well for handmade journals. So you've got, because I mean, I do love big handmade journal. I like access to all the journals. And then, of course, just remember that little one I just made. Where is she? That was half of the A4 paper. This is A5, but stitched at the top. So this was the little Frocktober, the Witchy Poo journal. And this is A5, but rather than, always I have them bound this way. I don't think I've really ever done a journal this sort of way. I've quite enjoyed it. I'm glad I did it. Oh, I must stick that on the back of there too. And, well, there's no point all these little tattoos staying in there. I shall put these back in with my other journal tattoos. Oh, gee, maybe I'll decorate it. I don't know. But she lives in that little bag. And I'm going to put her little faces back in there because I might use them on those and just finish that off. But that's one of the little cute little bags that comes with the journal tattoos. So just every journal has its own vibe. But I must say the drawing room journals, this size is just a very good size. You can fit most things in. And just, yeah, doesn't take too long to fill everything up, because when you've got a big journal, again, but if you want to learn how to make a great big journal like this, Layer Cake is the workshop where I do that, and journal. There you go. Yes, A3 is the biggest, A5 is half of an A4. So these are sizes we grow up with in, like Australia, the UK, the Commonwealth, Canada probably. So this is A4, it's sort of like letter size. B5 is just a bit smaller than that, more compact than that, so a bit smaller than letter, I guess. And then A5 is half letter size, so like a letter size piece of paper folded in half. That's sort of A5. And A3 is like two pieces of letter paper placed one on top of the other. So then when you open it, it's like four pieces of letter size paper. So there you go. But yeah, A4 and letter size are similar, very similar. There you go, my friends. Well, thank you so much for joining me and my little fairy coming along and having fun with the new brushes. The little on tour, the Brush Ballet touring set. I'm not going to be saving these, obviously, for travelling. I use them all the time. But that's just what makes them a little bit more special. And yes, it's just that travelling set, but I've got mine right there. All that gold. Yeah, makes me very happy. And then they all go back in their little leatherette pouch. That's all part of the fun of them. And then, like I said, we've also got the new beautiful big tubes of watercolour. I might put them there like that, do a photo for Instagram for those next. And, well, that was really all I had to show you today. This was enough, I think. So, thank you so much. And have lots of fun. Oh, good, you're having fun in the Supplies Me class. Who said that? Excellent. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye. Oh, see, now I have to remember how to end the stream. Boop.